Israel has always tried to project an image of itself as a democratic society and has tried to justify many of its activities on the basis of security. The shape of the new Israeli government is becoming clearer now. Not only are very extreme elements in the government, but they are given positions that are extremely worrisome to a variety of constituencies. In the past, the Israeli governments had to balance the interests of secular Jews against religious parties. Now, the most extreme religious parties are given control of a newly created department for Jewish identity that will determine who is a Jew for purposes of residency, for purposes of immigration, and for purposes of education in the curriculum. So secular Jews, those in the LGBT community, those who are not clear about being included in Israeli society where Jewishness determines your rights, now are very worried because that determination is now given to those who are more extreme in their religious views about who is a Jew. Another constituency that is very worried are those Israelis who are liberal and who believe in the rule of law and in the role of the courts. Now they have to face the reality that major appointments of judges, that the role of the court is now being given to those who in the past have had trouble with the court. Those who don't believe that the court should be constraining the Knesset and the more extreme elements in the Knesset. Now, the new government is going to have some of the most extreme elements who in the past have been criminals, who in the past have had indictments against them. These people are now going to be in charge of the police and of appointments of the police, both in Israel and in the occupied territories. The Border Patrol Unit now is also going to come under the control of those extreme elements. In the past, Israel has played the game of balancing right-wing and left-wing elements in Israeli society. Those who wanted to expand settlements and those who were concerned about international law public opinion, about the United States and its views. Now, the most extreme elements among settlers are being given the authority to be in charge of the civil administration, as well as COGAT, which is the coordinating office for the territories. These are the very bodies in the Israeli government who are in charge of development in Area C, who are in charge of the lives of the Palestinians in every aspect of their lives, of permits for West Bankers and Gazans to work in the settlements or to come to Israel or to travel to Jerusalem or abroad. All these powers usually reside in the civil administration or in the office of the coordinator, COGAT, who coordinates Israeli government activities in the territories. Now these offices are going to be moved from the Department of Defense and given to people who are appointed by the most extreme element among settlers. The wife of Ben-gvir has been lobbying for a long time to change the status quo in Jerusalem at Al-Aqsa Mosque, known also as the Temple Mount. Now he is very clear that in his new role in the new government, he will be in charge of the police in Jerusalem, and he will be in charge of making those arrangements for Jews to start praying at Al-Aqsa Mosque, even though such an event would have tremendous, maybe even catastrophic consequences on the international scene in terms of arousing the sentiments of Arabs and Muslims, particularly Jordan and those Arab governments that have normalized with Israel. They will be put in a very difficult and embarrassing position. Benjamin Netanyahu has been trying to reassure people that he will be the final arbiter in those matters, that he will control those elements, those extreme elements. In reality, he is not going to be able to do that, not only because he relies on these elements for the survival of his own government, but also because the arrangements that he has made with them are important for him, to keep him out of jail and to keep him from being in danger of prosecution within the Israeli legal system. Israel is going to have a harder and harder time projecting an image of itself as a democratic society, as a liberal Western democracy. The extremists among the religious elements are now in a position to determine the policy and to project the image of Israel to the outside world. It is no wonder that American Jews, as well as friends of Israel abroad, and certainly the US government, has a lot to be concerned about and worried about under the new Israeli government.